Guys, we are out here exploring like Dora the Explorer. You guys who came, there's Sister Phyllis, there's Alan, there's his wife Teresa, there's Phyllis's daughter Cece, there's Sharon, myself. We have Armando and Lorena still coming down. We have Tomas back at the cabin. He was being lazy today.
Guys, be careful.
And then see that rock, that peak? Abraham just climbed it. But I think it's coming this way now.
Yeah, the oxygen is very low up here, but it's supposed to be out of the air now.
Sharon,
Take it off because it's very low oxygen.
I'm going to include this into the devotional.
Yeah.
So, you want to say something?
Hi, guys. The kids kind of make me nervous.
Oh.
Hi, guys. Look at how beautiful. Look at how beautiful it is. Everybody say hi. Hi. Look at it. It's saying hi.
We are in Lake Tahoe.
Now go, Dog. No more further up. Stay right there. No more further up.
You can see like
We were waiting for Lorena and Armando.
Look.
Oh yeah.
They got her out.
And look. Somehow Abraham got them to climb up. Way up there. I don't know where she went now. She said, get down now.
So 1, 2, 3.
Abraham just, now he's going to climb this one.
Anya, get up here.
Look, you should take a picture. Look at that view right there. We should all take one.
Ina, watch out.
You, that way.
Hey guys, Look.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, guys. We got thrown out to the front porch. It's too noisy in there.
Yeah, it is.
So, I have Brother Tomas here. You guys, he's not a man of many words. You always see him building at the church and helping build. And Sharon was tired, so she basically recruited you.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Didn't have a choice.
Didn't have a choice. So we're out here in Lake Tahoe. This is our second, for me and Sharon, our second cabin trip. You knew the first one we did, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one we did. This is the second one. We have a third, we have a fourth, and more to come after that. But anyways, we were hoping to do a video earlier showing everybody, but we're going to do that actually tomorrow. But I guess, first of all, brother, the first time I met you, you walked into House of Rest, the building we're in now.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have that building, and I lost it.
Yeah.
But I think you walked in back then, right?
Yeah. I walked into a Bible study.
So did somebody tell you about it? Somebody invited you?
I can't remember. I really can't remember how.
Because I didn't know you.
Yeah.
We didn't know each other.
I can't remember how I ended up there. I ended up there though.
Was that around the time you first got saved, or roughly?
Yeah, roughly about. There was a little bit before I really started going to the church I'm at right now. Like it was a little bit before. I was seeking and seeing where I was gonna fit, and Yeah.
I think, did you maybe came a couple times?
Yeah, you went a couple times, a couple Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever come to a Sunday service?
No, the only Sunday service that I went was when you were in Downtown Series.
Oh, okay.
So were you at Downtown Series before you were at the...
No, that's where I ended up because I lost that building.
Okay.
Yeah, so I lost that building. And at the time, guys, when House of Rest started in 2011, it was actually in the basement of my house. And I only had room for 20 chairs, brother. I didn't know you then.
Mm-hmm.
But the congregation built to 25 people. So I said, man, it's going to start getting full here. Well, it is full. It was only standing room, so I started looking for a building. And the building I found was a building we're in now, but the rent was too much for 25 people.
Yeah.
And it was a 2-year lease, and I ended up having to break that lease, and I felt so bad. And we ended up leaving there and ended up in a karate school.
Yeah.
They didn't have classes on Sundays, so we would have service there on Sundays. We'd have to bring chairs out, put chairs back, set a sound system up, and all that stuff. So that's when you said you came for a Sunday service, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So years passed, and then what happened? Like, we just
I don't know. Like honestly, when I really started coming to church, which was at CWC.
That's where you go now, right?
Yeah.
Who's your pastor?
Bishop Steve Perea.
Yeah. So that's in Manteca.
Yeah. And so when I started going there deeper, a little bit deeper, that's when we started that Kingdom Connections, remember?
Oh, okay, guys. I used to have, once a month, I would have a men's breakfast and invite a bunch of churches. That's right. And you would come when you could make it.
Yeah. And remember, we would, man, I remember one time we had like 12 different churches from Fresno up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Every time we did it, we would have breakfast first, and then we would have like a service, and I would basically say how many churches are here. And it would be like CWC, House of Rest, just different churches, man. It was a good time. It was a great time. I really enjoyed that, actually.
Yeah.
And so that's right. That's when I got to know you a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because then your nephew was coming to our church.
Yeah, Danny.
Yeah. So your nephew was coming, and as a regular, but he was going back and forth from Sacramento at that time, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So then, but you never, like I said, you have the church you go to, that's the church family you belong to, but you really helped us out, man, because Tomas knows how to build and stuff, and that's when it really, like, when we moved into this building again, like I said, I lost that building. Years passed, and then I saw the building for lease, and I called the owner. And honestly, I was nervous. I had my wife call the owner because I was hoping it was a different owner.
Mm-hmm.
And she talked to him, and then it was the same owner. So I told Sharon, I said, "You got to tell him who you're married to," And so she said, my husband is David Rocha. He used to be there. And he goes, "Oh, I remember him." And at that point, I thought he was going to hang up on her. And she basically said, at that time the church was small, but we're a lot more organized. We're a lot bigger, and we can now carry the weight of that building now.
Mm-hmm.
And it was surprising because he gave us another chance, and that's how we ended up in that building. And then I called up Tomas, and I'm like, "Hey, I got this vision, man, of the stage, and Sharon wanted certain work done, and I knew how I wanted the layout done." And as you guys remember, if you go back to the videos, you started helping making that happen, along with some other brothers, that were helping build a lot. I know Joe helped a lot.
Yeah, Joe.
And Alan.
Alan did a lot too, especially with drywall.
Yeah, and we had a few other brothers, man, that did a lot of stuff. I can't leave Abraham out of Abraham.
Yeah.
My stepson, he did a lot, but then, other brothers did, a little bit here, a little bit there, but you guys carried the main weight of it. So
but that's actually where, like, our relationship, our friendship, and everything started growing from there. You know, because it was honestly, I think that's where it just started flourishing, and that's where.
Because before that, we would just kind of see each other and be, hey, brother, how you doing? Right?
Yeah, and you know, it's just I guess you know, and I think I've spoken to you a couple of times before and stuff like that, and started coming to Wednesdays a little bit more and stuff like that, bro. But I think that's where it actually just started really taking off. You know, our friendship and everything like that, and that's where I think it just pretty much.
Yeah, well, if I recall right, I remember there was a phone call you called me. It was probably a good 30-40 minute conversation, but just to summarize it, I remember you basically said, I'm seeking solid brothers in my life, or I don't know how you said it, you know, but I remember you had said you felt kind of like you wanted just have like people that were just seeking God, so you can attach yourself to them. I guess is that was that correct?
Yeah, that was kind of what it was. Like I was just, you know, I'm not knocking any other brothers. I just felt like I was, and you know, I'm no better than nobody, but I just felt like.
And you've always said that.
Like my phase was just going a little bit more advanced.
Yeah.
Like I need to surround myself with a little bit more, you know, and you know where. I you know, I text you and I'll just be transparent. You know, I text David a week or two ago, telling him just how much I love and appreciate him for his friendship. The reason being is because you know, 2020 has been a crazy year, but for me, go ahead, bro.
I'm still waiting for the murder hornets. But...
Yeah, but for me, I just think God did some weeding in my life, and He just started pulling who is who out, and He started placing everything in place. And I think that's only because, I mean, Sharon always tells me, when you gonna start speaking on the pulpit, when you gonna start pursuing your, you know, the pastor's license. And I think that's just, it's God's timing, of course. I have to be available to it.
Yeah.
But I also know that He's surrounded me with a good, strong accountability. And regardless that, you know, you are my pastor. You know, you pour into me, bro. And, you know, so you are one of my pastors. You are one of my accountability. I've called you with situations where I was mad and you just kind of put me down, you know, like you've corrected me when I was wrong, you know, and I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for you being in my life. Like I said, you know, if it wasn't for you getting that building, our relationship would have never been to what it is today, which, like I said, is only God.
You know, it's interesting what you're saying because you many times you have said, man, I ain't perfect, man. You know, you've been very open about your flaws. You've been very open about the things you want to grow in and this and that. And I like what you said right now. You said, you know, I call you because I consider you my pastor and you help correct. If somebody considers somebody their pastor, shouldn't they be open to correction then? Or else they're not your pastor?
They're not your pastor.
Yeah.
You know, my pastor, Bishop Steve Perea, Pastor Gary Freitas. There's a few other pastors that I can call. Pastor Ryan Youngblood. These are individuals that I can call, and you know, they say that, you know, you have numbers and you call and they don't answer, and people get discouraged. No, I'll call my next pastor. I'll call my next pastor. You know, and I know if I call you or I text you, you answer right away and stuff like that. But I just kind of go where I'm. And that's just me. I'll pray on something. I could be mad at the moment, and I'll talk to God about it, and He'll point me, like, call this person. And it's funny because I could call and they'll answer. Yeah. And then they sit there and they give me the best advice possible. But my thing is, I'm open for correction because I know I'm not perfect. That's like them saying that, you know, how some people have that cliche that you got to get perfect before you come to church.
Yeah, then the church will be empty.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, and I'm still broken. I'm still finding myself in where I gotta be and where God calls me to be, because every season in my life has been different. You know, sometimes He wants me to help out with this ministry. Sometimes I feel led to come over here. A lot of times I don't even answer that because I'm like, man, I've been to where I'm so pumped up and I'm fired up that I'm at the wrong place because I just want to go and do, you know, instead of just sitting back. And That's why, like, I've told you, at the beginning of the year, I just want to get closer to God. I just want to get, I want to find my first true love again, like, because that fire, I felt like that fire was kind of not dying down. I love God, and I try to keep him a part of me. I try to make him a part of my grandson's life, everything like that. But I just felt like I was starving more. I needed more.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Like, and I have people I consider pastors to me, because we all need accountability. Mm-hmm. There's people that I have, put in my life, that I'm just like, man, if you see something wrong, if you see, please sit me down and tell me. Tell me if I'm derailing here, because everybody needs it. Everybody. And I think that's really important point that you bring out, to people that are watching, and maybe some of you don't have anywhere to go. That's why maybe you watch our videos, because there is nowhere. And all I can do is pray for either God to raise you up as a leader, or for you to find somebody, because it's one thing having a YouTube video, and I appreciate it. Sharon appreciates it. But you need that closeness.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people will sit there and argue and be like, oh, I hold myself accountable to God, and only God can judge me, and this and this and that. But this is just the way I look at it. And I mean, it's the only way, the really way that I can really put it is, when you're running the streets, you checked in with somebody.
Yeah, that's right.
And you didn't have a problem doing it then. Why would you have a problem doing it for God? You know what I'm saying? Because he places people. I believe, I've read a book called God's Armor Bearer, where he places pastors in your life, so you hold yourself accountable. Yeah. So you're open to that correction. There's been times where I didn't want to be corrected, but I felt tugged to make the phone call. Yeah. And I made it. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys probably rub your head and are like, man, this guy, man. But I mean, you guys hear me out. And you guys give me answers that I don't want to hear. Yeah. No, but I'm open to it, and I might just agree with you guys, but deep down inside I'm just arguing with myself. No, that's not what I want to hear, so that's not, Yeah. And I came to a point in my life where I don't even need to make that second phone call. I just need to talk to God after that. Yeah. Because I could continue to search for pastors just to tell me what I want to hear. Tickle my ears. You know what I'm saying? And let me do what I want to do, but you guys always correct me. And even if I do make a second phone call, that pastor tells me exactly what the pastor just told me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of wasted my, so I'll take it to the throne, and I'm just going to leave it there. And a lot of times, honestly, I wake up the next morning just feeling that much more better and, confident about it, and just grateful that you guys talked me out of what I need, how I really felt.
It's really hard because you said, some people say they don't answer to nobody but God. And I got to be honest with you, because I served God in prison. I don't know if you served God in prison. No, you didn't. Mm-mm. I served God in prison. And a lot of brothers that for some reason got saved in prison, they have this mentality, nobody can tell them anything. Yeah. And I come across that over the years, and even in there, where there's brothers, because like I started preaching in the yard. I started giving Bible studies to people, and dude, I never ever tried to lord over anybody, because God will raise a leader. You don't have to say, "Hey, I'm a leader." Yeah. I was just simply doing what God was telling me to do, which was preach the gospel, give Bible studies, be in prayer, study the Word for myself, and eventually I went to Bible college. But sometimes I would see brothers and I'd sit them down because I cared for them, and I saw them on a road of self-destruction, and I'd be like, "Brother, can I talk to you?" And they come with that attitude sometimes. Like, man, I don't got an answer to nobody but God. And unfortunately, they eventually derail. Yeah. And that's a sad thing to see, because I believe that God has called people that have been incarcerated before, because what's that wood called? There's wood that it's already been... Pressure treated? Well, what's the difference between that and a regular 2x4?
Well, pressure treated, bro, is to withstand a little bit more weather. They're a little bit, you know what I'm saying? That they
like if you're gonna use a porch like this.
If we're gonna do a porch like this, bro, we would either use redwood or pressure treated. Right. And the reason being is because they're just more sturdier, they're more reliable, they're more durable.
So they've already been through.
They've been through some in order to be that strong.
Exactly. So that's my point. Is I truly believe God has raised up leaders, is raising up leaders out of prison. I'm not saying that's the only place, but because many have been pressure treated. But unfortunately, a lot of those guys, man, unfortunately, they come out with this attitude of nobody can tell them nothing, So it's a breath of fresh air, and it's like, another thing I want to say too is you had said, well, when I got situations or problems, I call pastors, this and that. But here's the thing, right? I think this, and I think people need to hear this, is the fact that when you go to seek people that you feel know more than you or closer to God, I guess, in a way, because, we're all close to God, but that's a good sign, brother. Because a lot of times, my dad said this before. He said, if all you do is hang around friends your own age, you're never going to learn nothing. Because when you sit with older men, that's when you get wisdom.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that I'm an old man or nothing, but I'm saying, like me, I seek people that I feel have something I don't.
Yeah. Because
I'm just like, man, you know what? God is no respecter of men. So I want to get to there. Like, if I want to be a good mechanic, I'm going to hang around good mechanics.
Yeah.
If I want to learn carpentry like you, then I'm going to hang around people that do carpentry. And unfortunately, in the things of God, well, if you want to grow your walk, you're going to be around people that you feel have a strong walk.
Exactly.
But unfortunately, another thing I see is a lot of baby Christians hanging around just a bunch of baby Christians.
Yeah.
And what happens? It goes back to what my dad said. He goes, if all you do is hang around with your friends, you're not going to learn nothing until you sit with men, And which reminds me, which actually the verse I want to go to is 1 Corinthians. I want to read this real quick, guys. 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Uh, 11. This is good. This is exactly what I feel like what we're talking about.
Did you know where we're going here, or was that God just pointed to?
That was God. I had no idea I was going here. I came here, I said, bring your Bible. I had no idea where I was going, but as we're talking, it made me think of this. 1 Corinthians 13, 11. It says, when I was a child, I spoke as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. Dude, right there. That it's everything in summary of what we're talking about. Is Paul's like, man, you know what? When I was a knucklehead,
yeah,
then that's all I knew. But now that I'm in Christ, I can't be a knucklehead anymore.
Yeah.
And I come across so many people saying, well, when I was locked up or this, I'm like, dude, that's not you anymore.
Yeah.
And I know we joke around. We'll make a spread sometimes. I drink my Cadillacs, but I'm talking about that attitude.
When they're making that attitude a part of their everyday life.
Yes, and that stuff's old, man. That's kid stuff, guys. That's kid stuff. He says, when I was a child, man, I spoke like a child. And that's why, like, I don't go around talking in slang. I don't. If I do, it's because I'm playing.
Yeah.
Orale, but I'm just joking. I don't have to talk like that to get my point across. Yeah. I don't have to act like I'm super OG. I don't have to pose in pictures like I'm Mr. Veterano Cholo. I don't have to do that. I'm free in Christ.
Yeah.
I'm free in Christ to just talk normal, be normal, just be a man of God. And that's it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know if that's why you like hanging around. I don't know if you like, I enjoy your fellowship. I don't know if that's what you enjoy.
Yeah, I do, because it honestly, every day we could be going through something, and even the ride up here.
Yeah.
How much stuff did we see and just started referring it to Scripture?
Yeah.
And then it's like we were just all ministering to each other, and it was just like, oh yeah, and then we just started just bouncing off of each other.
Yeah.
In the car, and it's just like, but that's what it is. Like, I've come to a point in my life, and that's why I hold myself accountable to pastors, because I've tried things on my own. know what I'm saying? And it ain't get me nowhere but into a deeper hole.
Yeah.
But not only that, but I look at you guys kind of like as father figures. You know, yeah, my dad was there part-time, but he was there.
Yeah.
You know, came around mostly for my mom, just to keep it real. But, you know, you guys are steering me in the right way where he would come with gifts to keep us off of his back and to get what he wanted from my mom.
Yeah.
Where you guys are feeding me spiritually and really teaching me how to be a man, how to be a grandfather, how to be a father,
Yeah.
how to be all of these things, you know, and you guys don't know it, but you guys are leading that example that I want to set.
Well, you know, I'm glad we can be that for you. You know, I do hope that just like spending the time, like guys, you know, we're taking small groups every month to rent a house like this, and everybody splits the cost of it and whatnot. But anyways, my point is this, is that what I hope is that you, Alan, Armando, even the last group, Alex, brother from Phoenix and his wife, I mean, all these people, is that we can actually go outside the church. This ain't all, we're not sitting here Bible studying all day. But here, that's not the point. The point is to show everyday life. Like, I'm not acting a Christian way because I'm around everybody. This is the way I am. And this is the way we are. Because, you know, I feel, and I hope I'm wrong, but I feel like a lot of Christian circles, they act a certain way around the brothers.
Yeah.
But the moment they're not around brothers, you know, it's like everything's out the window. You know what I mean? And it's like, I like to just come, be at a place like this. We joke, we laugh, we break bread, we cook, you know, and we do hang out. We do talk about the Bible. We talk about politics. We talk about different things, you know. But ultimately, it's all the same, whether we're in the church building or not.
Yeah.
You know, and to be that, because I don't like living double lives. You know, and if I think it's a bad sign is if you're around brothers or sisters around the church folk, and all of a sudden when it's some of you and you're out of that, now you're acting completely different. That should be a red flag.
Yeah.
You know, and but like Paul says, man, just you're not a child anymore. You know, and quit acting like a child. So a little bit about you, brother. I know they've heard me mention you a lot especially because of the help you've given us. But like, you lived a life as a gang member.
Yeah.
Your whole life, or what happened?
Honestly, it's because, like I said, I think for me it was just so having a part-time dad in and out. Well, when I finally hit my teenage years, the only father figure I had was my brother. My brother he's only 4 years older than me.
Is that Danny's dad?
Yeah, Danny's dad. Yeah, and he's only 4 years older than me, and he didn't know that he was setting an example as a father to me. So he was wrapped up in gangs. You know what I'm saying? They even started nicknaming him Gato because he got shot heck of times, bro.
9 lives.
Yeah, they were just like.
Did I meet him at Mason's? Was Danny's dad there?
Yeah, he was there.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, you should have told me which one. I'm guessing you only had one brother there.
No, my brother-in-law Ozzy was there,
okay.
and then my brother Danny.
Was he there when I pulled up?
I believe he was.
Thinner guy?
I think yeah, thinner. He kind of stood over there.
Yeah.
Because he was having some beer.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Danny's dad.
Yeah, that's Danny's dad.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah. So and like I said, I don't judge nobody. My brother, everybody has a beer, whatever. I don't.
Did Danny show up?
No, not that day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, anyways, you were saying you looked up to your brother.
I looked up to my brother. That was my father figure, you know, in my life. And, you know, he had little, you know, younger kids my age that would talk smack to him. And next thing you know, I got his friend coming and telling him, hey, so-and-so's talking smack to your brother. There I go. I'm going and socking this kid up. But that was kind of like that's kind of what I grew up knowing. You know what I'm saying? So I started going to the little house parties with him. You know, of course he'd chase me off, you know, if he seen I was having too much to drink, or at 11 o'clock comes, he's like, hey, mom's getting off work, get home now. You know, so I have to, there I am riding my bike home. Yeah. You know, so on and so forth. But that's where that's kind of where I picked it up from. And like I said, it's not his fault. He didn't know. That wasn't his.
Yeah.
That wasn't his duty to.
It wasn't his
raise him.
responsibility.
Yeah. And he didn't know that he was setting that example. He was being a teenager himself.
Yeah, he was a kid himself.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I got involved with it. You know, I like, for me, my thing was, I'm always gonna be a homeboy, and I'm always gonna, you know, push and strive and this and that and whatever.
I used to say that too.
Yeah, and you know, I mean,
till the wheels fall off.
Yeah, till the wheels fall off. Either I'm gonna end up dead or I'm end up with life.
Yeah.
You know, and but God.
Yeah.
You know?
So did you know anything about Christianity growing up?
My mom was a church-going woman.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
yeah, so she made us go to church up to a certain age.
Oh,
After
okay.
that, she kind of like, she didn't give up. She, of course, like I tell everybody, I'm a mother's answered prayer.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, she never gave up.
Yeah.
You know, no matter, and the thing about a mother's love is whether you're right or wrong, she's still gonna stand up for you.
Yeah.
You know, and she always did that. She always, you know, and now she can actually. She told me one time, she said, "Well, now I can sleep at night,
Yeah.
knowing I ain't got to get that phone call from jail, and I ain't got to, you know, this and that." And I'm just like, "All right, cool."
When was the first time you went to prison? For how long?
It was excuse me.
Did you ever do juvenile hall or no?
Yeah, I did juvenile hall.
Okay.
I did juvenile hall time. Got caught with a pistol. Did that. I later on, like right before I turned 18, we ended up in a high-speed chase and shootout on McHenry, and I ended up wrecking my car. I thought the cop didn't see where I stashed it, but he seen where I stashed the gun. Excuse me. I was 17, so I'm in the hospital because I was in that car accident.
Yeah.
And you know, they come in and they tell me straight up, "Oh, we've always seen you stash the gun in the dashboard, so we're gonna go ahead and book you into juvenile hall." I'm like, "Man, I turned 18 in a few months." They're like, "Should have thought about that before you started carrying a pistol."
Wow.
So there was that.
So does that go to prison? That's it?
No,
Okay.
but that one I wasn't. It wasn't even that. So then I turned 18. I had to go do 3 days in juvenile hall.
Yeah.
I ended up just staying the night, and they released me. And then what was it? Like 3 months after my 18th birthday, I caught my first jail sentence, which was for robbery.
You're on the
and
roll.
stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, and you know, and then from there, from robbery, I got out. They only gave me 90 days for it. I did 90 days at the honor farm. Got out. Caught an attempted murder. Fought it for 9 months, and
Sitting in county?
Yeah, sitting in this county jail. And finally they see that's the funny thing about this, right? And my mom brought it up because Frank Carson, my lawyer, passed away, and she's all, remember that one time that when they were trying their hardest to give you like 7 years, and this guy walked in, and you know, he literally walked up to the judges in the middle of my trial.
Yeah.
And he spoke directly to the judge, bro. He turned around, smiled at me, winked. He walked out, and I thought Frank Carson had talked to this dude, right?
Yeah.
And my mom told me, you know, she goes, up to this day, me and Frank don't know who that dude was.
Are you serious?
Yeah, bro. And that day, bro, they granted me probation.
Yeah.
With a 7-year tail, with and they told me that I had to do like 4 more months.
Wow.
But I did it all in the county jail.
Was that when it was downtown?
Yeah.
Oh man, I heard stories about that place. I never did time in the Modesto Stanislaus County Jail, but I heard some stories, man. It was just packed.
Packed, bro.
Was it, how many stories was it?
That was only 3 stories, bro.
But it was like tears, I heard, like prison.
Yeah, tears like in prison. So, you know, they had them, you know, but they had that thing jammed tight like sardines at times.
That's what I heard.
And then sometimes you just see them, especially like Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
That Thursday, they just start letting people with the petty stuff go.
Wow.
And then it builds back up Memorial Day weekend. So, but yeah, and then I ended up having my daughter, and you know, I'm still caught up in the lifestyle. So I have a pistol on me. They pull me over, catch me with it. I deny it. I didn't know it was in my car or whatever. But I had my daughter's mom and my daughter with me. And they said, all right, well, we're going to take you and your girlfriend to jail, and your kid's going to go to CPS.
Wow.
So I said, it's my gun. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to take nobody to jail.
Yeah.
And, they made it rough on me. They were like, nah, you guys are just going to have to go. Ooh. And I'm like, oh, man, I messed up with my daughter. So I fought that case for about 2 years, and I finally just said, all right, I'm just going to take your deal. I took their deal. I ended up doing 32 months out of it. And I ended up doing 32 months out of it. I got out.
So was that 2.5 years or?
32 months.
Almost 3.
Almost 3. Yeah. And then, so I did that, and then I got out. That was cool. I was just, not staying out the way, but I was trying to be low key, but then I'm sitting there trying to play catch up, and I want to be, I want a car, and I want this, and I want that.
You want stuff.
Yeah, and my boy was going through a divorce, so he was just like, I don't care about life right now, let's do it. And so we ended up in a bad situation, bro, and I ended up catching another case with him and my brother, and now they're trying to strike me out.
Wow.
And so along with that one,
which guys is 3 here in California, 3 strikes, you're out. On a 3rd strike, you get life. Well, you do get life.
Yeah, you get life.
Yeah.
And so I'm fighting this case. I'm going back and forth to prison because if they put your case off for more than a month, you automatically go back to prison. Yeah. Unless your lawyer stipulates it and wants you to stood here in the county. A couple times he was just so in a rush he forgot to say that, so I'm bouncing back and forth to prison, jail, county jail, whatever. And I remember on my last court date, because the time before my last court date, my brother and them asked the DA, are you gonna offer us a deal? So he tells my brother, which Estrada are you? And he goes, I'm Danny Estrada. He says, all right. He goes, I'll offer you 7 years. He goes, your other friend, I'll offer him 11, and your brother in custody, we're going to give him 27 years. You? Yeah. And I said, so, when I walked into the courtroom that day, bro, it looked like somebody died. Like, my mom sitting there, like, just, like, man. Because they already heard that. Yeah. My brother's just, he got tears in his eyes when I walk out, and my boy's just like, man, like, just had that concern. Yeah. And I'm just like, man, I'm asking the courtroom what happened, and they're just like, call us. So I call as soon as I get back, and like, what's up, man? And that's what they told me, and I said, all right, we'll check it out. Since it's gonna go that route, I'm just gonna take the rap on everything. Next court date, get you guys off. I go, man, you guys just take care of my daughter. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So we go back to court, and I see my lawyer, right, and a couple of times, and he's just telling me, man, hold on. I'll make some time to come talk to you. Hold on. Yeah. Well, I'm sitting down in that dungeon all day, bro. They even start taking account for dinner, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just getting ready to just tell my lawyer, you know what? Let's just get this. Talking about the holding cell? Yeah. The when you're what they call the bullpen, you're down there waiting for court. Yeah. Yeah. So
I hate that because there's no beds, there's no nothing.
You're sitting on a concrete slab. Yeah. And so finally they call me up to court. They've already did account for dinner, everything like that. I'm mad. I've just been, and we're standing in the hallway getting ready to go in, and I'm telling my lawyer, man, hey, I need to talk to you. And he's all, shh. And I said, no, I need to talk to you. Yeah. I said, look, I want to take the rap for everything. Get me this much time, da-da-da-da-da. And he turned around and he looked at me, bro, and he told me, it got dropped. Shut up. I said, huh? Know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then, bro, so I was, and here's some real stuff, right? I was guilty enough to be struck out on. Yeah. Just being honest with you. But I wasn't guilty of what they were accusing me of. Yeah. But I've been there. But my thing was, like I said, they had enough. If they really pursued the true charges, they had enough to wash me. And I wouldn't have no choice but to take it. Yeah. And that's another just but God moment. You know, like he just has this thing. Ended up just going doing my violation, and that was it, bro.
How long has it been since haven't been incarcerated?
I went back in 2009 for a wet and reckless. I did.
That's 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, how long did you do then?
Oh, I did 48 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But no prison term.
No, nothing like that. After my last violation, that was in 2007 till 2008. Yeah, I discharged in 2009, and then I ended up catching that wet and reckless.
Yeah.
And then after that, I haven't went back, bro.
Because they say that if somebody gets out and they can hit their 3-year mark, the chances of them going back diminishes greatly. So I mean, you've been out for a while now.
Yeah.
So here we are, man, just serving God, and building our walk, and and I just wanted to, do devotional, and Sharon was tired, and she's like, well, now's an opportunity you can do one with the Musk, because I did one with Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did one with Tony, and that was really fun, actually. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with that. Mm-hmm. And because I've always done them just with Sharon, you know what I mean? But when I did it with Tony, I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun. A little twist, something different, and mm-hmm. I've mentioned you enough times that people, are like, who's this Tomas guy you keep talking about? He's a brother, man. There's other brothers too that I'm close to and like to fellowship with and hang out with, and just joke around and get in the Word and build and grow our walks together in Christ, So I guess that's it, man. It's kind of cold out here. I'm surprised no bears have killed us. We are seriously in bear country. Like the garbage can, is called the bear bin.
Yeah, the bear bin.
Yeah, so everybody cannot leave their trash out. Like in my house, we just put our trash out anytime, but this is called the bear bin. It has to be in there because the bears will come. And you know what I found out today? That bears have probably the best noses from any animal in the world.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Scent-wise?
Scent-wise, yeah. And it was saying that like a bloodhound is 300 times stronger than our nose.
Yeah.
And a bear is seven times a bloodhound.
Wow.
Yeah. So they can smell your food in your fridge. Yeah. So we're right here, guys, and where we're at, because Lake Tahoe, it's actually a little town, but then you start going up the hills and there's houses and they start getting further and further apart. I think this is like the last street. After this is nothing.
Yeah. It's all just forest.
Like this little half block, it's forest. So if a bear's gonna come, it's gonna be here first. But we're sitting here in the porch at night. But I don't know.
But yeah, and just some advice, man. You guys got a pastor. You guys are just tuning in, for whatever. Man, don't. Here's what I've learned, right? Because when I first started coming to churches, I didn't want to talk to the pastor because I always thought he was holier or mightier. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just real talk. Like I was afraid to talk to him and everything like that. But now, not only you, but with my main pastor, Steve Perea, man, that dude calls me, jokes around, and he's a normal person, man. And I think that if you guys just reached out to them instead of being so afraid, I think that would give them a little bit more confidence in what they're doing. Just because they do intend to build relations with you. A lot of them do. I can't answer for all of them, but a lot of them do want to build relationships because you are considered their sheep. So whether you're right or wrong in your accountability, just I can only extend that you just kind of get it right, man, because it's like we've all been punished before, but the only thing they're gonna do is correct you with the word. If they're really good, they're gonna correct you with the word, and back it up, and not only just tell you, but actually show you and tell you, look, this is where it's written in Scripture. This is why we don't do this. This is what we do. Woo, 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 woo. And a lot of pastors just want to do it in love. They, you are their sheep. You are, their flock. And if you believe it or not, a lot of them will leave the 99 for that one. I've been in that situation, so I can honestly answer for that and vouch for it.
Well, I think that's, as we're wrapping this up, I think that's why people like to watch relevant Bible talk, because they feel like, I think, like you said, a lot of times pastors, you only see them behind the pulpit, maybe in the Bible study. If they do an announcement, it's like pre-thought, and it's like, hey, come to our church, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's like, and a relevant Bible talk, I don't edit. I don't edit the video. I edit as far as I render, because this records backwards. I mean, that kind of editing, but I don't chop it up.
Yeah.
So we'll mess up, we'll joke, I'll yawn, you know what I mean, this and that, because I think that's why people like it, because they're just like, man, this is just real.
Yeah, and just so you guys know, he was killing spiders right now.
Yeah, I killed a spider. I didn't want that thing. What if it's a brown recluse or something? Wake up with a big old fat foot. You know? But, all right, guys, man. We are going to do a video here. So showing everybody and letting everybody talk a little bit, kind of like we did at the first cabin. I want to keep that a tradition. But today we went on a bike ride, and we went to the beach. We went driving. We ended up in Carson City, the capital of Nevada. We crossed, we went over there. You stayed here and hung out. Mm-hmm. So we went on an all-day mission, guys. So it got really late. By the time we got back, we had to make dinner and whatnot. But we are going to introduce you to everyone that came tomorrow. Well, maybe today, actually, for you guys, because you're watching this. Today is Thursday night for us, Friday morning for you guys. Yeah. So I guess that's it. It's getting chilly out here. And God bless you. Have a good morning. Throw some cinnamon in your coffee or some cocoa. Make it a Cadillac. I guess that's it. Yeah? Yeah. All right, man. All right. Have a good morning. God bless.
God bless.